Namaste, salam alaikum, sat Sri Akal, everyone. Welcome to another video. This is a compilation video of all the different foods I had in Nepal. Nepali food, there's some similarity with Indian food, and they've got lots of Tibetan influence. And then and keep watching till the end to see what I love the most. So I'm starting the vlog with dal bhat because whether you're on the Indian side or the Nepali side or the Tibetan side or anywhere, one plate of food that you'll find every part of Nepal at lunchtime is dal bhat. You can have everything unlimited unless it's a non-vegetarian thali. Then you have a limited amount of chicken curry, but otherwise you can have as much of everything else. So I'm asking for more like this radish coleslaw, which was really, really nice and crunchy, and this tomato chutney that you can see. Oh my God, it was nice and spicy and really, really fresh ingredients. The dal or the lentils can be any variety, but the most commonly eaten dal is the black urad dal. The thing is that it's almost kind of like soupy in consistency. It's not thick like the dal you find in India. So it's like dal, but like a sambar. If you're from South India, you know what I'm talking about. So, and one more thing is that it's not intensely flavorful. It's just sort of mildly flavored. But the beauty of it is that they serve so much ghee, unlimited amount of ghee. So the dal with the ghee and the hot rice, oh my God, it's just like the ultimate comfort food. It also has like this potato curry and saag, which is just steamed green vegetables, and gundruk. Very, very delicious. It's like dried and fried, sort of spicy-ish thing. And to eat in this sort of mountain setting was really, really like, a dream come true. The snow-capped mountains, the flowers. It was a little village actually along the Annapurna mountain range.
दोनों चाहिए हाँ मजे की है वायरल कर दीजिए so that you can get as much as you want. Thank you, Dai. Welcome.
So this is a lapping, which is sort of like a Tibetan light snack. So they have both the soup version and a dry version, and I'm going to be trying both.
I definitely can have both, but I just wanted to try the stuff. So let me try the dry version first. So it looks like a rice paper. Oh my gosh. And it's got like dry noodles, some chili.
It felt like I was having some kind of lazy girls momos because the skin was that of the momos, exactly the same thing, and they filled it up with like a chili oil, Chinese style chili oil, and uncooked Maggi noodles or instant noodles. So it had a bit of a crunch. So it kind of felt like as if if you don't have time to make a full-on momo, let's just uh, look find what we've got in the kitchen and put it together.
Crunchy. So crunchy, soft, spicy at room temperature.
I tried the soup version as well. So the soup was sort of like at room temperature, exactly the same flavor. So it had the strong taste of garlic and the chili oil. And again, it had the uncooked noodles, but because it wasn't hot, it hadn't gone soggy or anything like that. It was still crunchy. And the soup version also had a little bit of tofu. So overall, this was a very, very interesting dish. First time I'd ever tried it. And yeah, it was not the best thing I ever had, but it was pretty good. Next up, we have ukpa. Now, this is also a Tibetan origin dish. It's a noodle soup, super comforting and, perfect for the winter. So noodles, vegetables, some fresh green chili, and, it just had the tanginess and the heat. And, overall, it was like just having like the biggest hug on earth. And I really, really loved it. This was again my first time having tukpa. You can find it in Northeast India and all these type of regions as well. Yeah, this one was a hit. You can't be in Nepal and not have momos. So this is the classic version. So it's got wheat flour casing. This one's got stuffed vegetables, mildly flavored. Comes with two different type of sauces.
Hardly taste garlic. So even if there is any garlic, it's probably very, very, very light.
They were so delicate and tender, they were literally just falling apart. So I had to use my fingers to have them. You also get sort of like these more hybrid versions. So this one's classic chicken momo. fried and tossed in some Szechuan sauce, which was tangy, sweet, spicy, had peppers and onion and everything. So this one was definitely a hit. Up next, we have what they call sekwa, which is basically Nepali barbecue or Nepali tandoori.
So I happened to find this sekwa place, which is basically Nepali barbecue. Sekwa, which is like sekna, you know, like sekwing on a fire, basically. So you can have buffalo meat, pork, chicken. So I'm having chicken.
So I asked the guy if this was a snack or a main meal, and he said no, this was a snack, and they often tend to have it with some alcohol and just blokes having a chit chat. It was served up with some kind of chili sauce and some sliced radish and cucumber. This was absolutely delicious, cooked to perfection, had the nice smoky flavor, but was tender at the same time. So these juicy bits of chicken were a real treat, and in terms of flavors, exactly like tandoori chicken. This is the Manakamana temple in the Gorkha district of Nepal. It was a very early start that day. I started at 4 a.m., visited the temple, did my prayers, and by the end of it, I was very, very, very hungry. And so it was time for breakfast. The place looked so inviting. So I found out that the owners and all the staff working here were from Bihar in India, which is only about 2 hours away from this part of Nepal. And so I decided to have chola bhatura and jalebi as combination, and that combination is known as jeri sawari, which I'd never heard of before, but that could be because I'm South Indian.
Oh wow!
It was so cold that day, so this hot chole bhature jalebi was such a treat, and I was so tired that I didn't even care about calories or anything. So those freshly fried jalebis, the bhatura, and the chatpata chana, oh my God.
And this whole thing together is called kya? Jeri Sawari. Jeri Sawari. It's quite cold in the morning. I can't even remove my jacket. So to start with, this chana bhatura looks so amazing. Can you see? Soft.
This was the most delicious thing I've ever had for breakfast, not only in Nepal, probably in the world. Oh my God. Like, after the first bite, it was difficult to speak. It was so good, so good. It was like a burst of flavor in your mouth, and then the bhatura, which is a fried bread, was soft, and oh my God.
But you fried the jalebi fresh in front of me. Yum.
मैम टी कॉफी
अदरक वाला चाय?
मिल जाएगा
हाँ.
अदरक वाला का जो स्पेशल चाय बना देता है मटर चीनी हाँ चीनी चाहिए टेस्ट
फर्स्ट क्लास. बहुत अच्छा है.
थैंक यू
Filming this breakfast was so difficult because the food was so delicious. It really needed my full attention, and all this filming and cooking was just a big distraction. It just felt like I should go back to this place and just eat quietly without talking to anyone. That's how good it was.
अच्छा है. Yeah. And ये जलेबी इसके साथ खाते हैं क्या?
हाँ साथ में आएगा
I have a bite of the jalebi with it. The tangy and the sweet and the spicy and the chatpata all together. I think this is easily the best meal I've had in Nepal. Today really this is Dilkhush moment. Just the best food I've had in a week.
Which is actually just me
सेल रोटी and that's the
मनकामनाको
butter. ये चावल का आटा से बनाते हैं?
चावल मनकामनाको सेलरोटी
अच्छा.
So the batter is made with the rice flour. It's soaked and then blended like this and then deep fried. It's actually quite hollow on the inside, and you can eat it with all these different things. Sale roti is a typical Nepali breakfast. It's not an Indian thing.
There we are. That's how it looks. I'm just having it on its own. So I've just broken it apart. It's like this, quite hollow. It doesn't have anything inside. So let me see.
It's slightly crunchy, but it has no flavor of its own. So I think with the sale roti, it really depends on what you eat it with. I was told you can have it with milk and sugar. You can also have it with like these aloo tarkari. You can have it with like some meat stuff, like they were having it at the wedding.
Okay, so that's my shapali getting ready over here.
This is also Tibetan influenced, and it's very much like a samosa. So I went for a vegetable filling, but you can also have meat stuff.
So it looks a bit like this, and it's quite a thick crust with quite a lot of potato.
It was a good sort of snack to have with your afternoon tea. The outside was a little bit crispy, and the inside was really, really soft with the potato and everything. So, yeah, pretty good.
ढेडो
टेढ़ो तो किसका आटा है ये?
ये हापड़ का पिठा
थापड़ का ये वाला?
जी
ओके सो इस इंग्लिश में क्या कहते हैं? बकवीट कहते हैं इसका?
क्या कहते हैं
तो पानी डालो
और
घी डाला. So that's ghee and I'm pretty sure it's buckwheat flour and he's just making like a mash out of it. Wow.
I wasn't expecting so much food, but it was basically a whole thali, and instead of rice, you had this buckwheat flour mash. It was cooked with a whole lot of ghee, and then they top it off with a whole lot of ghee. So, wow.
So that's the dal, aloo sabzi, dido. This is a gundruk. What do they call it? Saag. And another tomato chutney. And two types of achar. So I'm gonna put the dahi to one side. And I know the best way to eat this is with my hands, so I'm gonna try. Okay. So first I'm gonna try this with the chutney. I think because of the ghee and the cozy texture, it's like a proper hug, and it's got the comforting thing, like you know, like halwa. Yeah, like halwa. With the dal. Let's try with the dal. Wow, it's going really well with the dal. Yum. Yeah. So they say you should have this didu with the gundruk. So this is the gundruk. Wow, it tastes the best with the gundruk. Really good, and this gundruk is kind of spicy as well. Yum. So I will be asking for more gundruk. I think it tastes best with the gundruk so far.
So this actually was recommended to me by one of the girls I was traveling with to Muktinath temple, and she said, "Have you tried Dido and Gundruk?" She said it's really good. So, oh my god, it was a really good recommendation. I loved this dish, and it was something very unique. The flavors of the gundruk, which is like a dried and fried leaf, and it's got garlic, chili, I believe some mustard oil. So overall, this was a surprise dish and a really good surprise. So next up we have bara. Now this is a lentil pancake. So very, very simple to make as well. And what you need to do is soak these urud dal and blend it into a paste. and made into pancakes. So you can get the plain version like this, or you can have an egg version, or you can have a buff version, which is basically they give it to you with some buffalo
It
meat.
looks so nice, and it also has onion and green chili and egg, and it's nicely cooked.
This is a nice, comforting snack and very easy to make as well. Pretty healthy. I mean, they do use quite a lot of oil, but apart from that, I think it's pretty healthy. The one thing is that it didn't come with anything like a chutney or any kind of curry or something. I think it would have been better if it had something. Of course, this is not a restaurant, by the way. I'm in Bhaktapur, and on the day I went, they had some kind of Newari cultural event going on. So that's where they had all the Newari food. So Bhaktapur is like this little suburb of Kathmandu, and this is where the Newari people used to live. So, it's so nice to see all of the traditional architecture and everything. And they had all this different food. And this bara, mm,
This is also called a bara, and it's got the same the urad dal, but I think it's also got onion and something else. This is really good, really really good.
this bara was so good. It really, demanded my full attention. So I decided to just sit down quietly and eat my bara without any distraction. Very tasty. I was really, really full, so I couldn't really try this Niwari special. It's basically flattened rice, and you eat it with all type of different things. Basically, it's dried poha.
So I really enjoyed this trip to Bhaktapur because it's really like one of those oldest gold situations, because the architecture, the streets, the shops, everything is old. So, and because it's the cultural week, there's so many school kids from the whole Kathmandu Valley area, which is also very nice. The excitement and the positive energy that children bring, you can feel that as well. And I got into the spirit and bought this and overpaid for it, I'm pretty sure. So I've decided to try some pani puri because I haven't had pani puri yet, but I'm really full, I can't eat a lot. So I have some friends to help me. Come, dear friends. So these are my helpers.
Hi,
Hello, what's your name?
my name is Nisha Khan. And you are?
Shri Vidya.
Nice.
Can you help me eat the pani puri?
Yes.
Thank you. So that's the aloo filling. Is it good? So the potato stuffing, they had a little bit of dried peas, and it had salt, chili powder, the usual. And then the water was nice and tangy, so it was quite refreshing from all that greasy food that I just had. And that's why I love chaat, because it's usually quite light, quite refreshing. But yeah, and it was really good to have those little helpers help me. Yeah, great.
So they say you cannot go to Bhaktapur and not have this jujudao or king curd. So basically, it's supposed to be curd that was fit for the king or the king's favorite curd or something of that sort. And so it's basically a yogurt pudding.
I'm generally a little bit nervous to try anything that's yogurt based, because sometimes if it's over fermented, it will be a little bit too tangy for my liking. This is supposed to be sweet. I asked him, I said, are you sure it's sweet? And he said yes. So I'm gonna try it now. I hope I like it. Good. This is love at first bite. I really like it. It's very creamy, very rich. He says it's a mixture of cow's milk and buffalo's milk. It's sweet sweet, but it's not super sweet. The texture is like kind of like, it's like pudding, you know, like creme caramel, that type of texture. Cold. Yeah, I like it. I really like it. Worth its reputation. So this is the place I tried it in. I was just walking around Tamil and then I saw this little cafe type place. And one of the things that caught my attention was a saffron milk cake, which I think would be something like a rasmalai cake or something. But anyway, anything with saffron, I usually like a lot.
I was really impressed with the effort they were putting into the presentation of this cake. And honestly, all that icing and this sort of, I'm sure that's saffron flavored milk. Oh my God, can't wait to bite into it.
Excuse ma'am. Here's your chocolate milk cake.
Beautifully presented. Yeah. Wow, this looks beautiful. Let me smell it now. Wow, I have a cold. Even then, I can smell the saffron. So I can't wait to try this. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good. So this is exactly like a rasmalai with lots and lots of saffron, but like in cake form. And you have the lovely creaminess and the richness of the icing, and this is just a dream. 10 out of 10. I was speaking to the person working in the restaurant and he said that in India this restaurant is in Chennai and it's originally a Dubai-based restaurant or cafe chain.
For my last day in Nepal, I decided that I was going to have the uniquest and my most favorite meal, and that was the dido with the gundruk. And you just can't go wrong with all the comforting, flavorful, ghee intense sort of dish. And so that was what I decided to have as the last meal just before leaving Nepal. So the dido and gundruk was my favoriteest food and my top recommendation.